The moment I saw that email, something inside me snapped. Not the heartbreak kind of snap, the kind that turns a woman into something lethal, calculated, merciless, the kind that makes her watch her husband burn, then sip champagne while he chokes on the ashes. My name is Juliana Sterling, 32, self-made millionaire, CEO of a luxury fashion brand, and soon-to-be ex-wife of the biggest fool on earth. And this is the story of how I ruined the man who thought he could betray me and walk away unscathed. It was 7:15 a.m. in Nashville when my world shifted. The scent of my dark roast coffee curled into the air, the rhythmic babbling of my 1-year-old daughter, Vivian, filling the kitchen like music. She was oblivious, innocent, smiling at me with those big blue eyes, his eyes. And then I saw it. One email. Subject, moving on. I clicked. Boom. My husband of 5 years, Donald Sterling, 38, in front of our lake house, wrapped around a blonde, young, smug 23 maybe. She was wearing my silk robe, on my porch, with my husband's hands gripping her waist like she was his prize. And below the photo, the house is mine now. I've already moved in with Amber. My lawyer will be sending the divorce papers soon. Don't bother fighting it. The deed is in my name. Oh, really? I felt it crawl through my bloodstream, pure, unfiltered, white-hot rage. Donald truly thought he could email me out of my own marriage, that he could steal from me, betray me, then rub it in my face with a smug little homewrecker in my sheets. I looked at Vivian, still playing with her food, laughing, untouched by the war erupting in my veins. I set my coffee down, blocked his number, blocked his email. Then I typed back one single deadly sentence. Are you sure about that? Better check the paperwork carefully. And then I smiled. Because this was going to be fun. Donald had always underestimated me. When we met, I was already running a thriving online empire. But Donald, oh, he loved telling people that I was successful because of him. She has a cute little business, he'd say at parties, as if my brand wasn't already making 7 figures before I even met his lying ass. I let it slide. I let a lot of things slide. The way he conveniently forgot to introduce me to his colleagues. The way he downplayed my success while flexing his own boring finance job. The way he acted like his business connections were the reason I was thriving, when in reality, I was making him money. And then there was the lake house. It had been my idea. A getaway for our family. A place to build memories. I bought it entirely with my company's profits. But Donald, he insisted on putting his name on the deed. Tax benefits, babe. I agreed. But what he didn't know was that I had my lawyer draft documents that ensured on paper the house was truly mine. And now, that smug bastard thought he could claim it. Oh, Donald, you just started a war you won't survive. I picked up Vivian, breathing in her baby-soft scent. She had his eyes, but my fire. And in that moment, I knew. This wasn't just about revenge. This was about protecting my daughter's future. I carried her to my home office, set her down, and opened my laptop. First move, I emailed my lawyer, attaching every document that proved I was the sole owner of the lake house. Second move, I pulled up the security camera feed, because what Donald didn't know was that I had installed cameras at the lake house months ago. And oh my God, what I saw on those tapes, let's just say my revenge was about to get a whole lot sweeter. He thought he could steal from me, cheat on me, humiliate me, destroy me. Oh, Donald, you poor stupid little man. By the time I was done with him, he'd be drowning in debt, out of a job, and watching everything he ever loved burn to the ground. I didn't want revenge. I wanted annihilation. I dialed the bank first. My voice was steady, my tone smooth, almost sweet. This is Juliana Sterling. I need to report unauthorized transfers from my joint account. Yes, I have full legal ownership. Yes, I have documentation proving I am the primary depositor. It didn't take long. Every single transaction Donald had made over the last 6 months was flagged, investigated, and ultimately reversed. The $100,000 he stole from Vivian's college fund, snatched back, the $300,000 he funneled into offshore accounts, frozen. The account he secretly opened under Amber's name, shut down before she could touch a dime. By the time I hung up, Donald Sterling was officially broke. I imagined him waking up, stretching in my bed, probably rolling over to nuzzle Amber, grabbing his phone to check his balance, only to see zeros where his power used to be. A man without money is a man without control, and I had just made sure he lost every ounce of it. That was only the beginning. I opened my laptop and forwarded the security footage to Sinclair Holdings. A sweet little package of Donald and Amber sprawled across my couch, plotting their future like I didn't exist. The smug little conversation where Donald promised that once he was CFO, he'd push through the merger with Sinclair, destroy my company, and leave me with nothing. I titled the email, Urgent, Corporate Espionage Evidence, Donald Sterling. It took 30 minutes for my phone to ring. The executive on the other end sounded furious, spitting words like unethical, termination, and legal action. I let out a tiny, devastated gasp. Oh no, that's terrible. I trusted him so much. The official statement dropped before noon. Donald Sterling was removed from consideration for CFO. The Sinclair merger, dead in the water. My business, untouchable. The board at his firm launched a full-blown investigation. By the end of the day, Donald's entire career was dangling by a thread. Still, it wasn't enough. Not yet. The house, my house, the lake house, had been my idea, my money, my dream. Donald had insisted on putting his name on the deed, selling me some bullshit about tax benefits. I had agreed, but I wasn't stupid. My lawyer made sure the ownership contracts were airtight. So while Donald and Amber were lounging on my furniture, drinking my wine, laughing like they had won, I had already sent the eviction papers. I pictured the exact moment the server knocked on their door. The moment Donald grabbed the paperwork, scanned the fine print, and realized that his entire plan had backfired spectacularly. I wondered if Amber cried when she found out they were both about to be homeless. I wondered if she screamed. I hoped she did, but still, I wanted more. Oh, I could have been quiet about it. Could have handled things with grace, dignity, whatever the hell people call it when women just take their pain and shut up about it. But no, not me. I went public. I opened Instagram, logged into my business account. 3.2 million followers. I posted 2 things. A video of me in my silk robe, sipping my morning coffee, staring out at the lake, looking every bit like a woman who had won. The caption: waking up knowing you're still rich, still successful, and still in full control of your empire. Unmatched. Also, some men are so dumb they don't check paperwork before they try to steal your house. Oops, he didn't check hash. Dumb men, dumb choices. Then, a screenshot of Donald's moving on email. I blurred his name, but I left Amber's face crystal clear. The internet did the rest. Amber's social media was flooded. Homewrecker, gold digger, damn girl, imagine thinking you won just to get evicted LMFAO. She went private, but it was too late. That evening, my phone rang. Blocked number. I let it go to voicemail, then I listened. It was Donald. His voice was ragged, panicked, on the verge of tears. Juliana, baby, you win, okay? Just call me back. Please, we can fix this. You don't have to do this. I made a mistake. I was stupid. Please don't take everything. Click. I stared at the phone for a long, long moment. Then I laughed. I poured myself a glass of wine, curled up on my lake house couch, and let the sound of his desperation lull me to sleep. Donald was ruined. Amber was drowning in public shame, and me, I was exactly where I belonged, on top. And I wasn't done yet, because the next morning I was about to deliver the final blow. Donald's life was already in ruins. His money, gone. His career, dead. His mistress, humiliated beyond repair. But I wasn't finished. Oh no, he still had one last thing to lose. And me? I had everything I wanted. I had my house, my daughter, my business, and my power. But vengeance is like wine. It needs to be savoured. And I wanted to taste every last drop. The morning after his pathetic voicemail, I woke up early. The sun rose over the lake, reflecting in golden ripples. I stretched luxuriously, feeling nothing but peace and satisfaction in my bones. Vivienne was still asleep. I kissed her soft little forehead and whispered, "Mummy's about to make sure Daddy never messes with us again." I took my coffee to the porch, the crisp morning air filling my lungs. My phone buzzed. Sarah, my lawyer. "Juliana, are you ready?" I smiled. "Send it." And with the press of a button, I fired the last bullet straight into Donald's heart. I had one last ace up my sleeve. You see, when you run a high-profile business, you don't just play defense. You collect evidence. You prepare for war. And lucky for me, Donald had been very, very sloppy. Sarah had spent all night combing through files, emails, transactions, security footage. What she found? Oh, it was gold. Turns out Donald hadn't just stolen from me, he had stolen from his own company. Bank statements showed secret payments from corporate accounts to a private offshore fund. He had been siphoning company money into the same shady accounts where he stashed my stolen cash. And the best part? He was dumb enough to leave a paper trail. Sarah compiled everything. Then she sent a beautiful, devastating package to Donald's company's board of directors. Subject: urgent, financial misconduct and embezzlement, Donald Sterling. Within an hour, my phone was ringing off the hook. I let it go to voicemail. Then I sat back, sipped my coffee, and watched the fireworks explode. Donald's downfall hit the news before lunch. Sterling CFO candidate under investigation for financial fraud. Corporate scandal, Donald Sterling's shocking embezzlement scheme. CEO's niece involved in espionage plot. Oh yes, Amber's name was dragged right alongside his. By the afternoon, Donald had been fired. Not just fired, publicly disgraced, blacklisted from every major firm in the industry. And his dear little mistress, Amber's family, disowned her. Turns out sleeping with your uncle's top executive while being involved in corporate fraud. Not a good look. She lost everything. Her influencer deals, gone. Her brand sponsorships cancelled. Her luxury lifestyle reduced to ashes. By evening, Donald was drowning. No money, no job, no reputation, and nowhere to go. Because that's when the final eviction notice arrived. I wish I could have been there to see it. Donald and Amber, standing in the driveway of my lake house, watching as their designer suitcases were dumped onto the curb. The locks changed. The property, legally, officially, permanently mine. I imagined Donald frantically calling his lawyer, screaming about how this wasn't fair. I imagined Amber crying, mascara streaking down her face, realizing that she had gambled everything on a man who just lost it all. But me? I was already on to the next part of my life. Vivienne and I spent that evening curled up on the couch, the fireplace crackling softly. I ran my fingers through her tiny curls and whispered, "Mummy took care of everything." Then I did something I had been waiting for all day. I checked my email. There was one last message from Donald. Subject: "Please, Juliana?" I clicked it. "Juliana, please, you win, okay? I don't have anything left. Amber's gone, the house is gone, my job is gone. I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I miss you. I miss Vivienne. Can we just talk?" I stared at it for a long moment. Then I smiled, and I hit delete. Donald Sterling thought he could destroy me. He thought he could steal from me, cheat on me, humiliate me. Instead, I took everything. His money, his career, his reputation, his home. And I never looked back. Sometimes, when I sip my wine on the porch of my lake house, I think about the moment Donald sent that first email. Moving on. He thought he was winning, but really, he was just writing his own downfall. And me, I was always 5 steps ahead. Checkmate, a-hole!